as he goes by Mr. CEO, who is a financial advisor. Now, I won't introduce him myself. I'll let the man do the talking for himself as he could pitch himself. Mike, how would you like to start, sir? Tell me a bit more about you.
Okay, so as Hassan
Hassan,
said, my name is CEO Money Mike. I'm your wealth and business consultant, #1 financial educator.
Correct.
So I'm essentially in the business of creating purpose wealth masters, people who know their life purpose, but they've also received enough financial education which they apply in order to have a strong financial position.
Correct. Okay. Now, tell the people or the industry, what industry are you in and why are you here today?
Okay, so at the moment I'm a financial educator, and as a financial educator, I am in the industry of, I'll say definitely business consulting. And when we start talking about the finance stuff, it all comes into professional services, I would say.
Okay.
I'll say that's the industry to sum it all up, professional services.
Professional services. And what made you get into professional services, sir? Huh?
Ooh. So I've always been a numbers guy, and so from a young age, I guess my mother, she implanted it into my mind that I can actually become an accountant.
Okay.
So I actually aspired to become an accountant. When I was in sixth form, I came to
GCSEs. What did you get in your GCSEs?
My GCSEs, they got me into the local newspaper.
No way. What did you get?
What did I get? Let's talk about my A-levels. The A-levels, I smashed it. Yeah. Okay. The GCSEs were okay, but the thing with the GCSEs is that I surpassed what they essentially expected me to get.
Yeah.
So when we start talking about my predictions,
like you exceeded your predictions.
Yeah.
That's what we want to teach the audience today.
Yeah.
Don't care about your prediction. Exceed your predictions. Now, Mike, tell them, how did you get about that, sir? How did you exceed your prediction? Tell me.
How did I?
There's the audience wants I'm bringing. Come on.
How did I?
Tell us your secrets. Tell us your secrets.
They were just sleeping on me.
They were sleeping on you.
Yeah, that's what they were sleeping on me.
Okay.
They didn't know. They didn't see the potential.
They didn't see the late nights. They didn't see the late nights. The late hustles.
I worked really hard. But obviously, some people know the teachers. They don't always have that faith in you. But sometimes you just got to work and not prove them wrong, but in the end, that's what happens.
True. And then what happened in sixth form then? Talk about us.
In sixth form, I worked hard. I was always in competition with the peers. There were times where, like, when we start talking about the real exam itself, I'll get 100% in the real exam. Not the mocks, the actual real exam. But yeah, sixth form, went there, done my thing, got my A's. Do you know what? They didn't. Listen to it.
Yeah.
They didn't even have enough faith in me to the point that they didn't even let me study economics. I wanted to study economics at sixth form.
Yeah.
They thought that I couldn't do it. So I had to.
They slept on you again, basically.
They kept sleeping on me. And some of the people are probably sleeping on me right now.
True.
So I had to instead do business instead of economics.
Yeah.
I did maths and I did psychology as well. And I got A's in everything. So strictly speaking, I personally believe that I am capable of studying A-level economics. But
for myself,
they didn't want to.
I didn't go to college. I haven't went sixth form actually. Let's call it 16.
Okay.
I only got 3 GCSEs. I passed maths with an A-star, sciences, and then I got business at A.
You got A-star?
I got A-star.
I
understand my calculations. Give me pi r square. I know the calculations, bro.
On a half,
Alright, cool.
Wow,
so I did school with 3 JCCs, but someone that went to sixth form, obviously, what did you do after? What did you choose? What industry? Or did you work? Or did you go into uni?
Yeah. So from sixth form, I went on to study accounting and finance at Durham University, and after that, for a time, I was at PwC doing auditing.
Yeah.
So I've been in that whole accounting and finance audit sort of realm.
Okay.
And I guess as a financial educator now, one of the things that I do is I still do get individuals to do financial statements. So
I'm one of your clients. I told them people.
So I send someone who attends our finance events, our business workshops, and also our clubs.
Yeah. I have to say I really liked your club. 2 days ago, was it Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah.
That is one of is it the 7 stages of what was it?
Oh, so one of the things amongst many things we spoke about was the 7 stages of wealth.
Wealth. Please explain it. That has the people. You're gonna have to open up some mind, please.
Okay. What I would say is that there are 7 stages, but it goes up to stage 5.
Okay.
Now, some of you might be thinking, wait, 7 stages, but it only goes up to stage 5. But that's the thing, it starts at -1. Because you don't want to be at -1 or stage 0, which some people are at.
Yes.
So -1 is where you are financially dependent. So that's the stage of financial dependency. And then stage 5 is being financially abundant. So this is a very wealthy stage.
Okay. And then, all right. Well, so you finished school. You left uni, Durham. You went to work for an accountancy firm. And then what made you get out of accounting and really start your own business and really educate and give a lot of people knowledge?
Yeah.
Do you have your business card with you?
I've always got my business cards with me. Yeah.
We're gonna put that on the link description. We're gonna put your link
They're
down.
They're in the briefcase.
They're in the briefcase, the golden briefcase, people.
Yeah,
Take it out. Oh my God.
So cards here.
You're gonna have to bring it close. Oh. They're gonna have to see where your number and your details are.
I'm not ready to give them my number.
No. Alright, cool.
I'm not ready to give them my number.
How would you like to go? I'm gonna put your subscriptions below. Subscribe your website as well. Leave it to them.
So
and let really educate them.
So the company's Wealth Etiquette.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of financial education to give you because most people are never ever financially educated. Now, I'll say you can find us on Instagram, so that's at Wealth Etiquette. You can find us on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
So just type in Wealth Etiquette. Now, I know some of you, or most of you, will struggle to spell etiquette, so I'm going to help you out. It is ETIQUETTE. Now, I know you didn't all catch that, but you're going to end up learning the word.
But you're making my audience feel dumb.
I'm going to say it one more time, but this is a word which you need to add to your vocab. ETIQUETTE. Hassan, spell it.
No. Stop it, cut. I'm joking. You left school, you left uni, Durham. You went to an accounting firm, you left, you started your own business.
Yeah. So the question was, how did I get into it?
Yeah.
So I've got what I term the business bug. So I've always been in business, but I've always wanted to return to business. So I've always found that even when I'm in employment or when I was in employment, I always wanted to get back into business. So I never ever really found myself in employment for too long.
How do you find out if you got the business bug inside you? How would you know? Does it erupt like a volcano or?
You know, I'm at a stage where there is no desire to actually have a 9-to-5 or to work for somebody else.
Okay.
And a part of that does come with actually knowing your purpose and the difference that you want to make in this world.
Okay.
I'm not going to be able to make that difference if I am working for someone.
True.
So yeah, I need to flourish with my skills, my gifts and so forth.
What did he say yesterday? A lot of people have the small voice that's in the back of them. There's something here. We need to teach the audience because some of them have it right now. So they slap it or sprinkle it.
You know what? We're going to do a separate video on having a little voice. The little voice is that little voice that you might have on your shoulder or in your mind that tells you not to do something or sometimes tells you to do the wrong thing. But there is an exercise that we've got around it. But we're going to do that in a separate video.
Yeah.
So you guys, you better keep up to date with Hassan because this itself is very important and it can be a game changer. More content, guys, more content. But let's start this. You went to uni yourself. Is it still recording? Because I know sometimes you've got low memory. Huh? Is it still recording? Yeah. The cameraman said it's still recording. But listen. So you went to uni, but now when did you leave university? This was back in 2013. 2013. Wow, I left the school at 11 at that time. Oh, was it? But right now we're at the age of everyone really starting their own businesses or
Well, the entrepreneur word has actually gone around like it's fashion, and it doesn't have that kind of meaning that it used to have a long time ago that I aspired to do. Now, with your industry, can a student that has left university and really dropped out, or a 16-year-old that's not really trying to get into university or college, would they be able to get to your industry easily, or how would they be going about it?
Okay, so when we talk about my particular industry, and this goes with many other industries as well.
Well, maybe getting educated and then going into your industry. How would they get themselves educated to be like you?
So you actually started to touch on a point that I was going to cover, but it firstly starts with a decision to actually want to do something, and then it's actually acting upon it. Is the doing. So if I'm really honest with you, anyone can actually be a business consultant, anyone can be a financial educator, anyone can be a personal trainer, anyone can be anything that they want. But the question is, what maybe qualifications do you have behind you, which give people the confidence that you know what you need to know to help them, or what experience do you have that you can say to someone, look, I've got this experience, I've got these results before in the past. Because one, you need to have the knowledge and so forth, because you need to take someone from A to B, and that's what your experience, your skills, and your knowledge, your experience, knowledge, and skills, your expertise. That's what that's going to do. Help you take someone from A to B.
Okay.
So you need to have that knowledge. But in this day and age, you can pay for training, you can get free training.
Apprenticeship for a 16-year-old?
Apprenticeships. Some people go to university to get the knowledge for certain things, which you don't need to do. University, I'm not going to get too into it, but it's just for it just kind of like demonstrates your ability to pass the exams. Like as with anything else, so it's not that important. So you don't have to go to university for to get into many industries. There's only a few things like becoming a doctor.
Like doctor, lawyer.
No, even
a lawyer.
Lawyer. I don't know 100%. But maybe there's another way. I'm quite confident that there is. But obviously that's not my field. But you probably don't have to go to university to be a lawyer. But I don't know, so don't quote me on it.
Okay.
You're gonna bring somebody else into. You're bringing an actual lawyer.
You're lucky. Next week I'm bringing a doctor, so I'm gonna have to comment down. No. But So what would I say? So let me remember this now. You said technically students would not really have to go into university. Now, would you suggest a 16-year-old going to a workshop or using such websites as Eventbrite or Meetup to really scatter the net and find the industry that's best, and really find the industry that's best suited for them?
So the way that we do things, it's actually a little bit different. So we talk about purpose, and when we talk about purpose, it's exactly what have you been designed to do, because we all have our own skill set, our talents, our gifts, and the way that we see it is God has created you to do something. So it's all about you working out what you've been called to do. So for those people who are of some faith, it's what is it that God has called you to do. So what's your God-given purpose? But for those of you who don't have or aren't affiliated with any particular religion or faith, it's about having a self-given purpose. That's what it is. So I do have two business partners. One helps you to actually come to know of your God-given purpose. The other helps you to understand your self-given purpose. So that's for people who aren't of any faith. So that's what you want to do first. Work out what is your purpose, and your purpose will essentially dictate where you should be going, where you should be looking, what you should be doing,
what you should be getting into. Now, the best question I always ask this: what do you think about LinkedIn, and does a student have to be on LinkedIn to get right ahead of everyone right now?
Okay, so I'll say, as with anything, it has its advantages, it has its disadvantages, and there are many advantages to using LinkedIn in terms of connecting with people.
I think I've been there since 2013.
Yeah, today I was on Hassan's LinkedIn. Hassan's actually got a couple recommendations.
So I'm flying. I'm
well.
sorry.
So your LinkedIn, you're looking good, but like your LinkedIn is